Alright guys, I found an article by thegamer.com which is called Little Nightmares 2, the story explained, and I'm just gonna read it, and if I can find something interesting, I'm just gonna let you know. So, Little Nightmares stars a young boy with a bag on his head named Mono. Throughout the game, Mono is drawn to television sets that display a transmission of a long hallway that ends at a door with an eyeball symbol. He is able to enter the TVs as if they were portals, but he can never quite reach the door before he's sucked back out to the real world. This will be very important later on. He starts his adventure by traveling through a trap-infested forest, yes, we have seen that, before arriving at a creepy old house. Inside he finds rotting meat and mannequins that are most likely the taxidermied remains of unlucky humans. He also finds a little girl playing with a music box, who is being held hostage in the basement. And I thought it was a boy. But okay. He frees the girl by smashing the door with an axe, but instead of thanking him, she scurries away as fast as she can. Mono finds the girl upstairs, and the two begin working together in order to survive. They eventually discover the owner of the house, who is a violent hunter wearing a sack over his head. Upon seeing the children trying to escape, he chases after them with a shotgun. The two break into a small shed where a spare shotgun is being stored and shoot the hunter, which presumably kills him. They find a large discarded door and use it as a raft to cross a body of water. This takes them to the shores of a place known as the Pale City. The two enter a school that is surprisingly populated with children. Of course, they are not normal children, since this is Little Nightmares. They are actually strange living dolls with porcelain heads known as bullies. They are all being taught by a woman called the Teacher, who has the bizarre ability to stretch out her neck to absurd length like elastic men. After the girl is captured by the bullies, Mono rescues her again, and the two barely escape from the school. They walk out into the streets during a heavy rainstorm. It is here that the little girl finds a familiar yellow raincoat and puts it on. So yeah, she is 6 from the first game. What a twist. So I was right when I thought about if this is the same raincoat from the first game. So she is the same person, so this means this is a prequel, not a sequel. Alright, on we go. Mono and 6 make it through a dark hospital filled with living mannequins who can only be stopped by light. The two end up in the lower levels, where they encounter a huge man called the Doctor. He is a grotesquely bulbous figure who scampers across the ceiling like some sort of spider. After a tense chase, Mono manages to trick the Doctor into entering an incinerator and burns him alive. At this point, the two have seen a giant spire that's far off in the distance of the city. This is the signal tower, and it's broadcasting a transmission that warps the bodies and minds of those who watch it. Oh, okay. It explains the strange mutations that the characters we've come across have. It also explains the appearance of the hypnotized citizens known as the Viewers, whose faces have been turned into fearless, sunken flesh folds. Mono has been lured to various TV sets a few times and almost reached the end of the hallway before being pulled away by 6. Right, she's always pulling us out. Yeah, I always wondered why she was with us when we got out of a TV. Now I understand. Mono finally enters one of the TVs and makes it to the end of the hallway. He opens the door with the eyeball on it, which turns out to be a big mistake. This unleashes a ghostly entity known as the Thin Man, who begins to hunt down the children upon his release. While Mono manages to hide from him, 6 isn't as lucky and is sucked into the TV. The Thin Man continues to chase Mono until he's finally cornered in the middle of the city. It is here that we find out that Mono possesses similar powers to that of the Thin Man. He is able to use the transmission to defeat the Thin Man, which causes him to vanish. He then enters the signal tower to rescue 6 once again. Inside the signal tower is a strange pinkish-purple alternate dimension where gravity and time seem to be distorted. After some searching, Mono finds 6. The only problem is that the signal tower has transformed her into a giant, twisted version of herself. This 6 is obsessed with a music box that's similar to the one she was playing with when Mono originally saved her. Seeing that this music box is the object behind her transformation, Mono destroys it. 6 tries to stop him, but he succeeds and frees her from the influence of the transmission. So I was right in a way. Yeah, she felt like captivated and, yeah, haunted by the music in a way. The signal tower then suddenly begins to fall apart, revealing that underneath the building is an overwhelming mass of gooey flesh and eyeballs. The two children run away as a wave of flesh tries to crush them. As a bridge towards the exit begins to crumble, Mono leaps towards a ledge and Six manages to catch him. However, while she could easily lift him up, Six decides to let him go, and Mono falls to the depth of the signal tower as Six nonchalantly escapes. She's not a very good friend. Mono now finds himself stranded at the bottom of the tower. As he walks among the pulsating flesh and eyeballs, he comes across a single wooden chair. He sits down and he suddenly seems to be in a normal-looking room. We then watch a montage of him aging. He grows taller and thinner. He has become the Thin Man. Yeah, so we got that too. Oh, okay. Little spoilers, guys. If you want to see the secret ending, which we haven't seen because I haven't done it, here's something about the secret ending. In the secret ending, we see Six exit through a TV set. As she stands, a glitched shadow version of herself appears and looks down toward a drawing of the massive ship from the first game, the Maw. We then hear the familiar rumbling of Six's stomach. The events of this game were a prequel to the original Little Nightmares, as it shows the origins of Six's selfish survivalism, her impetus to reach the Maw, and the birth of her constant hunger. And that's the bizarre tale of Little Nightmares 2. These games are unsettling pieces of art that need to be experienced. Even though you've just read the entirety of the story, it's still worth playing just to see what has come out of the disturbing imagination of Tarsier Studios. Yeah, definitely. That's very interesting. I got most of it when I played through the game, most of the lore, but to see it now in its entirety, it's just really awesome. And yeah, this is a prequel, so I was right about that.